Let's get it.
Find a song just to open up to a prayer class or something. You know what I mean? I try to find a little song that kind of go along with the class, open up. Seek yourself, never give up. Oh, this sounds.
Boys in the hood on the television.
Yeah.
Killing in the blood is the only mistress. They told you right to die, but forgot to mention. You gon' have to die at the end of this one.
That's their reality.
Trigger once, it's the easy James. Pull the trigger twice, now you in the game.
All right. Shalom, grace and peace. Day 13, 5th month.
Boys in the hood on the television. Killing in the blood is the only mistress. They told you right to die, but forgot to mention. You gon' have to die at the end of this one. Pull the trigger once, it's the easy James. Pull the trigger twice, now you in the game. Kill another Jew when we all the same. I use a stone cold killer. Big rain. Black on black crime, who's the victim? Made you to a cell, now you product of the system. Struggle just to eat, so the gun will leave attention. And pops not around, so you making poor decisions. Deuteronomy 28, verse 54. An evil lie toward the brother, man, it's got to go. If you've been misinformed, well now you know. Set a mark on them that silent cry.
Who taught you to hate the texture of your hair? Who taught you to hate the color of your skin? Who taught you to hate your own kind? Who taught you to hate the race that you belong to? Who taught you to hate your own kind? Who taught you to hate the race that you belong to?
They dropped open guns in the ghetto for the Jews to swallow. Gave them weed in a revolver and it's a Apollo. Grew up on Scarface, not the Holy Bible. You don't believe that we destroyed it, just look at Michael. Jackson, I'm asking, who told you you was African? Told you about abortion since you could never go back again. Turn niggas in there with women masculine. Open up the door, black homes like flaming gas on you. How to fight your own people gave you last on you. When you got some money, told you to get a Kim Kardashian. Stop home, let him go, he's too gone. Barbershop go, all right,
Just regular people.
just like I have on mother, we got him down. I get him even a crime in the book of Isaiah chapter 29, verse 13. We talk about peace that men about God and they synagogues.
Who taught you to hate the texture of your hair? Who taught you to hate the color of your skin? Who taught you to hate your own kind? Who taught you to hate the race that you belong to? Who taught you to hate your own kind? Who taught you to hate the race that you belong to? Who taught you to hate the shape of your nose and the shape of your lips? Who taught you to hate yourself from the top of your head to the soles of your feet?
Watch the video, the little Sabbath video that was on the chat. The one he sent in the chat about the Sabbath.
Yeah, that's right.
I didn't have a chance to watch it.
That was long for a long time ago.
Yeah, I seen that. It said it was 2016.
I guess it ain't too long ago at the same time.
Right.
It is none so blind as those who will not see. Open your eyes. Let the scales fall away. This is all written.
We the chosen people, from Abraham to Hebrew, covenant with Isaac, past the Yasharala, known for popping collars, shorties wanna holler. If she wearing pants, you know I tell her not, bro. But if I prove her first, all praises to Abba. My people biggest problem is we missing all our fathers. Look, if you ain't seen the gods, we on the boulevards. Hit the snooze if you alarmed, you can read that in the Psalms. Script hit me so hard, I'm on YouTube hitting pause. If you wanna play along, you gotta keep the law. Yeah, we giving norms, fasting for a cause. Wine maketh merry, but money answers all. Dearly departed, Virginia's where it started. The making of a slave, on our mind it causes carnage. 16, 19 down, that's word to my fam. These spirits heavy here. They say let's make us a slave. Tell us what we need. First you find a black man of a nigga breed. Then you take his pregnant woman and this nigga seed. We gon' break them down from their natural strength of independency. We gon' make them dependent. Food, clothes, thirst, yeah, this is business. Willie Lynch taught us self-hatred. Forgot the law that's sacred. We trusted in oppression, and now we trying to make it, cause we don't know who we are. The 12 tribes of Jacob, oh my Lord, where they at? Scattered among the first natives, Hispanics, so-called blacks. We live in notice, we don't know how to act. But keeping God's commandments, we gon' get our kingdom back. 12 tribes, 12 tribes. He's not for you, Esau. Christ died for me and mine. 12 tribes, 12 tribes. The only obligation, my brother, repent or die. The remembrance of them will cease from among men. That's one way we were cursed for breaking God's commandments. Look, Proverbs to these nations, bywords to these heathens. Esau is the eagle. It started with the Grecians. The white man is the evil. It started back in Eden. The children gon' be taken. Call up Liam Neeson. The children getting slaughtered for iniquities of fathers. They stole us from that land. They sold us as some harlots. They got many haters. If you disagree, you mistaken. Psalm 83 stated, Confederate all the nations, more excellent than my neighbor, cause my forefather is Jacob. These nations all love them haters, cause in his image he made us. My hair the purest of wool, beard's coming in full. I'm that dude from school that you probably thought was cool. I never rode with a crew, I was close with no more than two. You gotta watch these niggas, cause niggas will turn on you. You gotta watch these niggas, cause most of these niggas coons. And riches to a nigga, they comely and that's the truth. I've always been a hustler, stayed on my ones and twos. But now I serve my customers up with mercy and truth. These byways and these highways, know we gotta recruit. To tell them that the reason why all these statements are true is because we don't know who we are. The 12 tribes of Jacob, oh my Lord, where they at? Scattered among the first natives, Hispanics, so-called blacks. We live in notice, we don't know how to act. But keeping God's commandments, we gon' get our kingdom back. 12 tribes. He's not for you, Esau. Christ died for me. 12 tribes, 12 tribes. The only obligation, my brother, repent or die.
Shut up.
Now, look at what about 6. Written to the Hebrew from Italy, captivity. You know what I'm saying? So if you
They know who about it. They know.
No God, there is
They know
one.
who about it.
that's crazy.
And he's a stern
But
and
they're
vengeful
going to say some
God.
other stuff.
And we have been mocking him
That's
far too long. And now he demands retribution in blood. Read through what was called for expiation in blood. And now God calls
On switch,
retribution
little transmitter.
in
Yeah.
1980.
All praises. All praises. All praises. Shalom, grace, and peace. All right, we are the One West Tampa Israelites, located at 10921 North 56th Street, Suite 258. Suite 258 here in Tampa, Florida. Classes Monday through Friday, 7:30 p.m. until. All right, you see the topic for the class tonight. All right, Nation of Israel, fasting and prayer. We know that fasting is required, and with prayer for your to afflict your soul, praying to the Most High. We know fasting and prayer kind of go hand in hand. It's almost like faith without works is dead. Right. So we know definitely the Most High will answer your prayers if you're keeping His law, statutes, and commandments. Let's say John 9:31. Right. At the same time, by fasting and afflicting your soul, it enhances your prayers with your soul and your spirit to the Most High. Right. So what I guess commended us to do this class was, we know, all praise to the brothers in what's that, Baltimore?
Yes, sir.
the Watchmen, I think it's the name of that group, the Watchmen, the brothers up there, Adam Abad, you know, all praises to you, brother. We know it's not a high holy day, it's not a day of atonement, you know, but at the same time, you know, due to, you know, these last days that we living in, these times that's going on with our nation, our brothers and sisters, it is a very good idea to do for Israel to do a nationwide fast and prayer. So all praises to the Most High, great idea. For other brothers and sisters that decided to, you know, join these brothers in other camps and doing the same thing is a blessing, and shows that we're definitely trying to be on the same accord with our Father Yahweh, and with His law, statutes, commandments as our nationality and heritage. All right. We want to open up like we always do in Matthew chapter 26.
This is the book of Matthew, chapter 26 and verse 6. And now when Jesus was in Bethany, in the house of Simon the leper, there came unto him a woman having an alabaster box of very precious ointment, and poured it on his head as he sat at meat. But when his disciples saw it, they had indignation, saying, to what purpose was this waste? For this ointment might have been sold for much and given to the poor. When Jesus understood it, he said unto them, why trouble ye the woman? For she hath wrought a good work upon me. For ye have the poor always with you, but me have not always. For in that she hath poured this ointment on my body, she did it for my burial. Verily I say unto you, wheresoever this gospel shall be preached in the whole world, there shall also that this woman have done be told for a memorial of her.
Right. All praises, man. As we you know, open up our class, whether we out in the street or I'm doing a class here at one in West Tampa, we like to bring out this woman like Christ commanded us to, for this wonderful work that she did for him with the ointment on his body or before you know, his death or his burial, right? So we bring that woman out as commanded, all right? And we want to start out, like I said, with our class tonight, fasting, the nation of Israel, fasting and prayer, which is a great idea, again, from the brothers out there in Baltimore, Watchmen of Israel. All praises. We want to open up. I guess we want to go and start out in Matthew chapter 4, because we'll find out that not only is us as a nation of Israel, you know, fasting, but we have quite a few scriptures in the Bible that prove where our forefathers, different prophets at different times, different captivities, you know, where they fasted and prayed to the Most High. Okay, and we're going to go through a few scriptures tonight, going through as a nation of Israel, where our forefathers and foremothers, you know, prayed and fast, you know, to the Most High on different occasions, different accounts. All right, we're going to start out in St. Matthew chapter 4, verse 1. 1 and 2.
This is the book of St. Matthew, chapter 4, verse 1. And then was Jesus led up of the Spirit into the wilderness to be tempted of the devil. Mm-hmm. And when he had fasted 40 days and 40 nights, he was afterward in hunger.
Read verse 2 again. Verse
2. And when he had fasted 40 days, 40 nights, he was afterwards in hungered.
Right. Matthew chapter 4, you know, speaks about our King, the Messiah, Christ, even fasted. 40 days, 40 right. Verse 2, and when he had fasted, because you see, we have proof here that Christ fasted 40 days and 40 nights. Man, that's a long time, bro. Ooh, that's a long time. But hey, you know, the Most High Christ had a spirit and an aura about him that he was able to do something like that. You know, we definitely, you know, we can follow Christ, like, you know, First Peter tells us, what's that? 2 Peter 2:21, you know, following his steps. But I don't know if anyone of us have been able to survive a 40-day, 40-night fast. But, you know, our King here, King of Kings, King of the Jews, he fasted 40 days and 40 nights. And And it says it was afterward a hungered. I bet he was. 40 days and 40 nights. So I mean, at least us, we could definitely we shouldn't be no problem for us to do a 48-hour fast. 48-hour fast. And how would you prepare yourself? Drinking a lot of water. Down here in West Tampa, we're familiar with alkaline water. Some of my brothers and sisters aren't. We definitely drink a lot of water, a lot of hydrated foods, like fruits, vegetables. I had some cherries earlier, man, and another brother maybe had some fruits and stuff. That's how you kind of prepare your body, in the physical, to fast. A lot of water, a lot of fruits and vegetables, at least a day or two prior, to help you through that 48-hour stretch. All right. And hey, all praises. You could do 40 days and 40 nights like Christ. Hey, go for it. But the whole point was that our Messiah Christ, he fasted as well. He's our example. All right. Praying and prayer and fasting, to the Father. All right. Now let's go to Acts chapter 27. Let's go to Acts chapter 27. Here's an account with Paul in Acts. Acts chapter 27. Just pulling a few accounts here of our forefathers went through fasting and prayer. And there's always room for prayer, fasting, and supplication to the Most High. Okay, Acts chapter 27. There you go. And get that. Acts 27, start at verse, let me see. Acts 27, you can start at verse 4.
This is the book of Acts, chapter 27 and verse 4. And when we had launched from thence, we sailed under Cyprus because the wind were contrary. And when we had sailed over the sea of Sicily and then Pamphylia, we came to Myra, a city of Lycia. And there the Centurion found a ship of Alexander sailing into Italy, and he put us therein. And when we had sailed slowly many days, and the scared were come over against Cydnus, the wind not suffering us, we sailed under Crete over against, what is that? Salmon. And hardly past it, came unto a place which is called the Fair Haven, nigh whereunto was the city of Lycia. Now when much time was spent, and when sailing was now dangerous, because the fast was now already past.
Because of what?
Because the fast now was already past. Paul admonished them.
Paul admonished them. So here an account in Acts chapter 27 where Paul, was shipping towards Rome, right? And while Paul was shipping toward Rome, verse 5, when he had sailed over the sea, Sicilia and Pamphylia, we came to Myra, city of Lycia. Okay, verse 7, and when he had sailed slowly many days, scarce will come over against Guineas, and the wind not suffering us, we sailed under. Verse 8, and hardly passing, it came into a place which is called the Fair Havens, nigh whereunto was the city of Lycia. Now when much time was spent, and when sailing was now dangerous, because the fast was now already got past, Paul admonished them. So there, Paul was sailing. Their boat, what we call shipwrecked, right? But it's proven that Paul was under prayer and fasting. This is something that the Apostle Paul did quite as well. Okay, this is account on Paul fasting and praying to the Most High in a situation when he was shipwrecked during the book of Acts. Okay, now let's go to Deuteronomy 9, verse 18. And then account with Moses. Deuteronomy chapter 9 and verse 18.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 9, verse 18. And I fell down before the Lord, as at the first 40 days and 40 nights, I did neither eat bread nor drink water, because of all your sins which ye sinned, in doing wickedly in the sight of the Lord to provoke him to anger.
Read that from the top again.
Verse 18. And I fell down before the Lord, as at the first day, 40 days and 40 nights, I did neither eat bread nor drink water.
I did neither what?
I did neither eat bread nor drink water. Nor drink water.
So see, that's the importance, or that's the way to fast, right? Here Moses says, I did neither eat bread nor drink water. Okay, so that's the way to fast. It's not eating or drinking. Because you can hear some people say, well, I'm fasting from TV for a couple hours. Right? Or I'm fasting from social media for a few hours.
Right.
You know? Or I'm fasting, you know, but I'm just, my fast is just no food, just water. You know, I'm just gonna drink water, you know. But that's not the true definition or meaning of fasting. Fasting is not drinking, not drinking or eating anything, afflicting your soul. Okay, we're gonna get into that. But here Moses is saying, I did neither eat bread nor drink water. Now let's get another account on that. We're gonna go to Jonah in chapter 3. We're gonna go to the book of Jonah, chapter 3. Jonah is right after is it Haggai, Habakkuk, Micah? Okay, after Obadiah. Right after Obadiah is Jonah. We're going to Jonah chapter 3, and we're going to start at verse 4. Yep, we can start in Jonah chapter 3 and verse 4.
This is the book of Jonah, chapter 3 and verse 4. And Jonah began to enter into the city a day's journey, and he cried and said, Yet 40 days, and Nineveh shall be overthrown. So the people of Nineveh believed God and proclaimed a fast.
Did what?
And proclaimed a fast, and put on sackcloth from the greatest of them even unto the least of them.
So here in Jonah chapter 3, verse 4, and Jonah began to enter into the city a day's journey, and he cried and said, Yet 40 days, and Nineveh shall be overthrown. Nineveh is the city where most our northern kingdom Israelites were residing. Okay, shall be overthrown. So the people of Nineveh, the northern kingdom Israelites, believed in God. Right? What was believing in God? Keeping His laws. Sirach 32 and 24. And proclaimed a fast. Right? Here our northern kingdom brothers proclaimed a fast here in Nineveh while they were going through some rough times during that captivity. So the people of Nineveh believed in God and proclaimed a fast and put on sackcloth from the greatest of them even to the least. Now, when he says here to put on sackcloth, this is like a sign of mourning or sign of downtime. Because when you're fasting to the Lord, you're having on your best garment or your best clothes. You know what I mean? You're not going to get a fresh cut and your fresh gear and your clothes and you want in your best outfits. That's not a time of mourning and fasting. That's why you see here the brother say, and put on sackcloth from the greatest of them even to the least. So we're talking about from the children up to the priests.
Right.
All men, women, and children. Everybody. Some even were putting ashes, on their heads and stuff like that. Now we read on it in other accounts here. We're going to go ahead and read on verse 6.
Verse 6. Lord, and the Lord God prepared a ground.
Jonah chapter 3, verse 6.
Oh, chapter 3, verse 6.
Jonah, 3 to 6.
Chapter 3, verse 6. For the word came unto the king of Nineveh, and he arose from his throne, and he laid his robe from him, and covered him with sackcloth, and sat in ashes.
You see that? Even that's an example right here that the king even took off. He arose from his throne, and he laid his robe from him and covered himself with sackcloth. He put all this beautiful, garment, his robe, off his throne, took it off, and covered himself with sackcloth and sat in ashes. No, that's an example of fasting and prayer. You see that? The king, that's what he did. That's that fasting. All right, that's the topic that we're going into. Go ahead, read verse 7.
Verse 7. And he caused it to be proclaimed and published through Nineveh by the decree of the king and his noble, saying, let neither man nor beast, herd nor flock taste anything.
Do what?
Let neither man nor beast, herd nor flock taste anything.
So not even the animals, nothing.
No.
Read.
Let them not feed nor drink water.
Let them not what?
Let them not feed nor drink water.
So here's an example, like not only in verse 5 when it says, put on sackcloth from the greatest of them even to the least. So not just everybody from the priest king on down, in verse 7, let neither man nor beast nor herd or flock taste anything. So not only the Israelites, but not even their animals and their beasts of the field weren't taking and weren't eating anything. And it says, let them not feed nor drink. So they didn't get food nor water either. So it's proved that a complete fast is no food nor drink, okay, for at least 48 hours, one day, right? Verse 8.
Verse 8. But let man and beast be covered with sackcloth, and cry mightily unto God. Yea, let them turn everyone from his evil ways and from the violence that is in their hands.
See, and that's the whole point in fasting and prayer. You see that? You're crying out, like it says in verse 8 here, let a man and beast be covered with sackcloth. So as we can see again, not in your greatest attire, because that's not the point when you're fasting and praying, right? And cry mightily unto God. That's that cry. That's that prayer. Whatever you're being afflicted with, whatever you're dealing with, whether it's family issues, job issues, health issues, you're crying out to the Most High. That's what prayer is. You're not talking to God like, he's your homie. Y'all just having a laugh and kiki conversation. You're crying out to the Creator. You're afflicting your soul, right? That's what we're going to get into that. And cry mightily unto God, yea, let them turn everyone from his evil way. Well, that's part of what? Repentance. Right. Turning from your evil way, coming from the wickedness to be righteous, right? From the violence that is in their hands. And we're dealing with stuff not only with other nations, but within our own nation. That's what we call some of you got what they call a black on black crime. Right. And we dealing with issues with other nations. You see what I'm saying? So that's why, again, it's very necessary. Get shout out again to the brothers that came up with this idea just for the whole nation to fast. Like I say, even though it's not a day of atonement, but we know as a nation and what we're going through it's really much needed. We really should be fasting almost once a month, besides just Day of Atonement, because we know Day of Atonement is what a fast once a year. And when we're dealing with as a nation, waking up, coming out of this deep sleep that we're in, there had to be a falling away first. Now coming back to the Most High, we need to be praying and fasting ever more. All right, man. So go ahead. Let's read. Go ahead and read on. Might as well finish this 9 and 10. Finish the point.
This is the book of Jonah, chapter 3 and verse 9. Who can tell if God will turn and repent and turn away from his fierce anger, that we perish not? And God saw their works, that they turned from their evil ways, and God repented of the evil that he had said and that he would do unto them, and he did it not.
See that? All praise. And this goes back to 1 Kings chapter 8. Yeah. If they repent and make supplication unto thee, then I will hear their prayer. Matter of fact, let's go grab that real quick. Let's go to 1 Kings chapter 8. This is what the Most High is talking about right here. Right. 1 Kings chapter 8, verse 46, 47, 48, about 2 or 3 scriptures right in there. 1 Kings chapter 8. Make sure we get that.
And then also that was good in that he said he would turn back the evil that he had, what he was going to do upon them, you know what I'm saying? And with the Christian mindset, they don't see that God doing evil. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, he would let evil come upon you, man.
You would let evil come upon you. And like you said, man, because while I was watching one video, one brother, he was saying like Christianity, what they don't understand. So brother was like, they think like every page is, you know, they like love, 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 love. Now, understand, man, there's a cause and effect, man. There's good and evil. There's a balance. There's a scale. You see, every page don't say love. You got to read, man. Okay, just reflecting on what we just read in Jonah chapter 3. Okay, 1 Kings chapter 8. Go ahead and read verse. You can start at 46.
This is the book of 1 Kings, chapter 8 and verse 46. If they sin against thee, for there is no man that sinneth not,
Right.
and thou be angry with them, and deliver them to the enemy,
Right.
so that they carry them away captives unto the land of their enemies, far or near.
Right.
Yet if they shall bethink themselves in the land whether they were carried captive, and repent.
And do what?
And repent.
That's that fasting and prayer that Jonah just and the brothers are doing. The Nineveh are doing in Jonah chapter 3. Right? Pray, fast, and repent. Read on.
And repent and make supplication unto thee in the land of them that carry them away captive, carry them captive, saying, we have sinned.
Saying what?
We have sinned.
That's that prayer and fasting. Read on.
And have done perversely. We have committed wickedness.
That's crying out to the Most High in prayer. Read on. And
so return unto thee with all their heart and with all their soul in the land of their enemies, which led them away captive, and prayed unto them toward their land.
And do what?
And prayed unto them toward their land,
right?
Which thou gavest unto their fathers, the cities which thou hast chosen, and the house which I have built for thy name.
Right. See, that's the first half. That's the part that we got to do, right? If they shall bethink themselves, meaning what? Remember, prayer, fast, crying out to the Most High, coming back to Him. You know, forgiving, asking for forgiveness for your wickedness and your evil ways, fasting and praying and supplication. You're right. And after you do that, then verse 49.
Verse 49. Then hear thou their prayers and their supplication in heaven. Then hear thou their prayers and their supplication in heaven, thy dwelling place, and maintain their cause.
See, that's what the Most High, that's when all this will start to happen. You see, when you pray and fast to Him in supplication, you come to Him, then He'll hear your prayer and heal, right? Read on.
Verse 50. And forgive thy people.
And do what?
And forgive thy people that have sinned against thee, and all their transgressions wherein they have transgressed against thee, and give them compassion before them who carried them away captive, that they may be that they may have compassion on them.
Right.
Verse 51. For they be thy people and thy inheritance.
They be what?
For they be thy people and thy inheritance, which thou broughtest forth of Egypt, out of Egypt, from the midst of the furnace of iron.
Right. So there, Most High is saying that, you know, then we'll be His people again. Right? Like He said in Deuteronomy 20, what's that, 32 and 8, 9, and 10. Talking about Jacob is a lot of his inheritance. Right? They are my people, my chosen. Right? For they thy people and thy inheritance. So what? The whole point, when you get to that point, and then come back to the Most High God, is to do what? Prayer and fast and make supplication unto them. Then our prayers will be heard. Right? You know, Israel, we had to win some very trying times. You know, there's a awakening going on, but at the same time, Jacob's trouble is on the brink. I mean, we're right dead smack in the middle of Jacob's trouble. And it's getting worse. All right. And it's getting worse, right? All right. Now let's all right. Now let's go to get another account on no food, no water. Let's go to Esther, chapter 4. Yeah, if you want to. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Esther, you're going to Esther, chapter 4. Esther, chapter 4. I think we're looking at verse 16. Esther is right before or after Nehemiah. It might be this one. Check too. Yeah, you can check it. Esther chapter 4, verse 16.
Right.
Yeah, go ahead. You got it, bro.
This is the book of Esther, chapter 4 and verse 16.
Uh-huh.
Go gather together all the Jews that are present in Shushan, and fast ye for me.
And do what?
And fast ye for me.
Okay.
And neither eat nor drink.
Don't do what?
Neither eat nor drink.
So by fasting, you're doing no eating, no drinking.
3 days.
How many days?
3 days.
Okay. Good.
Nights or day. Night or day. I also and my maidens will fast likewise. And so will I go in unto the king, which is not according to the law. And if I perish, I perish.
We don't.
So Mordecai. So Mordecai went his way and did according to all that Esther had commanded him.
Okay, so here we can see in the book of Esther, chapter 4, verse 16, go gather together all the Jews. So Jews are the Israelites, right? That are present in Shushan, and fast ye for me. There's another account on Esther fasting and prayer, giving supplication to the Most High. This is something that our foremothers and fathers did. This is part of our heritage, part of our culture. When you're being afflicted and going through troublous times, we fast and pray. How do we do that? And neither eat nor drink. That's what fasting is. Neither eating nor drinking. Like I was saying earlier, you're not fasting from social media. You're not fasting from watching TV. Okay? And you're not fasting just by having a little sip of water every now and then. Fasting is afflicting your soul from food and water, not eating anything for at least 48 hours. That's 1 day. Now, if you want to extend that to do 2 or 3 days, then that more power to you. We read the King of the Kings, King of the Jews, King of the Kings did 40 days and 40 nights. You see what I'm saying? So if you can do 40 days, 40 nights, all praises to you. But the whole point is fasting, no food, no drink for at least 48 hours. That's 1 day. All right?
24.
For at least 48 hours.
That's 2 days.
That's 2 days. I'm sorry. Glad you said that. You said that, bro. For 24 hours. I'm saying 48. I'm like, oh, I'm setting myself up. Sundown to sundown, man. 24 hours. 24 hours. 12 hours a night, 12 hours a day. Like tonight, we just started at 8 p.m. So we got till 8 p.m. tomorrow night. All praise for saying that, brother. Nobody on the comment board said nothing, but I'm glad my brother said that, got that to my attention. 48 hours. Not 48 hours, 24 hours.
Right.
Not 48 hours, 24 hours. Okay. Now, next precept. Let's go to, we already read Jonah. Let's go to Isaiah chapter 58. Isaiah 58. Another account of prophet Isaiah having a fast. Isaiah chapter 58. Let me get to it. Come and go. Check. It's something that groundwork. See that? Yeah. Look at it. So it's like if I hold it a certain way, then it won't. So it's like it's a little frequency in there. Okay, Isaiah 58. And I want to start at verse 3.
This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 58, and verse 3. Wherefore have we fasted? Say they, and thou seest it not. Wherefore have we afflicted our souls, and thou takest no knowledge. Behold, in the day of your fast ye find pleasure, and exact all your labors.
You know, since it's gonna cause a problem, man, since I'm using it. All right, go ahead. My bad, Israel. You have a little speaker complication, but it ain't that serious. It ain't gonna hinder us from keeping the class going. So go ahead, read that from the top again, brother. Isaiah 58, verse 3.
Verse 3. Wherefore have we fasted?
Have we done what?
Have we fasted?
Right.
Say they, and thou seest not. Wherefore have we afflicted our soul, and thou takest no knowledge? Behold, in the day of your fast ye find pleasure, and exact all your labors. Behold, ye fast for strife and debate, and not to smite with the fist of wickedness. Ye shall not fast as ye do this day, to make your voice to be heard on high. Is it such a fast that I have chosen, a day for a man to afflict his soul? It is to bow down his head as a bulrush, and to spread sackcloth and ashes under him. Wilt thou call this a fast and an acceptable day of the Lord? Acceptable day of the Lord? As not this the fast that I have chosen, to loose the band of wickedness, to undo the heavy burdens, and to let the oppressed go free, that ye break every yoke.
See, so at the bottom line, now, going through this piece right here, Isaiah, the prophet Isaiah, wherefore we have fasted, and say, and say they, and thou seest not. Wherefore have we afflicted our soul, and thou takest no knowledge? Behold, in the day of your fast you find pleasure, and exact all your labors. Verse 4, behold, ye fast for strife and debate, and to smite with the fist of wickedness. Ye shall not fast as ye do this day, to make your voice be heard on high. See, we can see with the Most High, this is an account almost like an Amos, your feast days. See, our brothers and sisters here in this account weren't honoring and coming to the Most High as they were supposed to. They crying out to the Most High. The Most High wasn't hearing them. All right, they were out of order here. Verse 5, it is such a fast. Is it such a fast that I have chosen, a day for man to afflict his soul? Is it to bow down his head as a bulrush, and to spread sackcloth and ashes under him? Wilt thou call this a fast, an acceptable day to the Lord? So, you know, another account on fasting, but at the same time, this is an account where, you know, the Most High was angry with our people. You know, because you can't just, you know, be praying to the Most High and you ain't obeying him.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Your fasting and praying is null and void if you're not obeying it.
Right. In the time of your calamity, right.
The time you will laugh at you in the time of your calamity.
I'm trying to throw on your sackcloth and ashes then.
Right.
That's basically what he's saying,
That's
man.
what, yeah, exactly, man.
When you know you're wrong.
When you know you're wrong. Verse 6, is not this the fast that I have chosen, to loose the bands of wickedness, to undo the heavy burdens, and to let the oppressed go free, and that he break every yoke? So yeah, you know, that's like goes back into Hosea 5:15. I will go over and return to my place until they acknowledge their offense,
right,
and their affliction. They will seek me early. Right. So I catch you next time around.
Right.
That's what I'm saying. Right.
Yeah.
I catch you next time around.
Yeah.
Man, with that fast and that prayer. That ain't nothing.
That's basically what it's talking about, right?
Yeah, man.
For real, man.
So, you know, but as we can see throughout, that's why we say this Bible is our history book, is our paper trail. Mm-hmm. So hopefully now as a nation, like I said, commend these brothers, you know, that are what's called watchmen, you know what I'm saying, for even coming out with even this first. So hopefully this is a start and a beginning of the nation praying and fasting, and hopefully we can get these days right. Also because we're day 13, okay, of the 5th month. With the 5th month, that's the Most High told us to number our days. So understanding that hopefully as a nation we're gonna get correct coming here soon. We understand that we are Israelites. That's our nationality. Our heritage is God's law, statutes, and commandments. And we're getting an understanding to be able to count his days, moons, Sabbaths, and feast days. All right, but coming together on one accord, fasting and prayer is necessary also. Right? So let's go to Leviticus just to get on the actual feast day. Let's bring out that one feast day that we're required to fast. That's in Leviticus chapter 23. And it's 24, 27. Leviticus chapter 23 and verse, you can start at 26.
In verse 20, Leviticus 23, 26. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, Also, on the 10th day of this 7th month, there shall be a day of atonement.
A what?
A day of atonement.
So understand, even though this is not the Day of Atonement, it was just a great idea of an Israelite group out in Maryland to do a fast for the entire nation based on where we're at in these times. So all praises. We're just covering the Day of Atonement, which is in the 10th day of the 7th month. Right now we know we're in the what? We're in the 5th month.
Right.
So 2 months from now, on the 10th day, it's going to be a Day of Atonement. Okay, and what you do on the Day of Atonement? Go ahead and read on.
It shall be in holy convocation unto you.
A holy convocation means a holy gathering. It's going to be a holy gathering, right? A holy convocation where we're going to be afflicted our souls. It's going to be the Day of Atonement, 10th day of the 7th month. Read on.
And he shall afflict your soul.
You shall do what?
Afflict your soul.
That's where fasting is. Afflict your soul, we kind of use it as or another term for afflict your soul means when your stomach start growling. That's afflicting your soul. When your stomach is growling, you're afflicting your soul. No food, no drink for 24 hours. Right? And ye shall afflict your souls. Go ahead.
And offer an offering made by fire unto the Lord. And ye shall do no work in that same day.
That same day, that Day of Atonement. Read on.
For it is a day of atonement.
Right?
To make an atonement for you.
To make an atonement for you by doing what? Afflicting your soul. Fasting, not eating or drinking for 12 hours. Right? Read on.
Before the Lord your God.
Your God, Israel, before the Lord your God. All right. Go ahead, read on.
For whatsoever soul it be that shall not be afflicted in that same day, he shall be cut off from among his people.
Read that scripture again.
For whatsoever soul it be that shall not be afflicted in that same day.
So anyone of these Israelites that don't want to partake, like if you sin willfully after you got the knowledge of the truth, like Hebrews 10:26, for whatsoever soul it be that shall not be afflicted that same day, meaning I'm not going to fast, I'm just going to do my own thing. And that's on y'all. I'm doing my own thing. Okay, read on.
He shall be cut off from among his people.
He shall be what?
Cut off from among his people.
And we got to understand that's cut off mentally and spiritually, because it's not just us brothers in this room can't cut you off. It's really that's the Most High cutting you off.
Right.
Just because you're amongst us, you might be cut off because of what you do. We might not know that you cut off just because you're sitting right here.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? You hadn't partake and you turning your head, or you're disobeying with the Most High. Again, that goes into Hebrews 10:26. After knowing the knowledge of the truth, but you just gonna do what you want to do. And then think your prayers are gonna be answered. You got another thing coming. Right. Go ahead, verse 30.
Verse 30, and whatsoever soul it be that doeth any work in that same day, the same soul will I destroy from among his people.
So some people that think they're just going to sneak off to work, simply because some other brothers and sisters ain't going to find out that you're going to work. Guess who know you went to work? The Most High. The Most High, the angel recorded like we talked about last night. Your book and the book of the Lord is going to be open. It's going to be recorded. So just because a brother or sister don't know that you might have went to work and you snuck off and did something, or you didn't fast, that angel that recording you and the Most High know.
Right.
So you ain't getting away with nothing.
better put in your days now.
You better put you right. Exactly.
Put in a day that you're gonna leave from work now, ahead of time, man.
Ahead of
That's
time.
what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna show them go put that day in. When you said hurt, that thing was serious.
Hey, so all praises, man, for that, man. Go ahead and read on. Go ahead and read on verse 31.
Verse 31. Ye shall do no manner of work.
That's what you just said, bro.
It shall be a statute forever throughout your generations.
Throughout your generations. We touch on that. We talk about fringes.
Mm-hmm.
I got my fringes at the house. Well, now I don't really wear them like that. What some people say, my fringes in my heart.
My spiritual friends.
My spiritual friends. They in my mind. They in my heart. You see? But the law says that you may look upon them. Look upon them. If they ain't on, you can't look upon them, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So go ahead, read that 31 again.
Ye shall do no manner of work. It shall be a statute forever throughout your generations.
Right.
And all your dwellings.
All right. All your dwellings.
It shall be unto you a Sabbath of rest.
So it's like a Sabbath of rest, meaning what? It's a holy convocation. It's a high holy day. Read on.
It shall and ye shall afflict your souls in the 9th day of the month, and even from even unto even ye shall celebrate your Sabbath.
So that's what it said. 9th day of the month at even. So that night, which is what? The 10th day. 10th day to the 10th day from even to even. That's your day of atonement. And you shall do what? Afflict your soul. How do you afflict your soul? By not eating or drinking. Praying to the Most High. All right? That's afflicting your soul. Not eating nor drinking. Fasting to the Most High. 12 hours. 24 hours. 24 hours. All right? All praises to the Most High for that, because we definitely need that. Some of who look around, like your brother was saying, man, damn, I ain't fasting in a while. I'm thinking the same thing, man. I ain't fasting in a while either. I mean, last year, Day of Atonement I did, but somewhere around, I think February, I might have fasted. Here we are. It's a few months later. So it's to keep that good balance, to keep a good relationship with the Most High, to try to stay blameless, and in the good grace of the Most High. Fasting and prayer is much needed. Much needed. All right. Now let's go. That was Isaiah. Let's go to Ezra. Ezra chapter 8. A couple more precepts. Ezra is right after Second King. No, after Second Chronicles. Ezra chapter 8. Ezra chapter 8 and verse 21.
Ezra chapter 8, verse 21. Then I proclaimed a fast there at the river Ahar, that we might afflict ourselves before our God, to seek of him a right way for us, and for our little ones, and for all our substance.
Wow. See that? So, again, verse 21, and then I proclaimed a fast. A fast is what? Fasting and prayer, afflicting your soul 24 hours. At the river Ahua, that we might afflict ourselves before our God. How do you do that? Again, no food, no drink, 24 hours. Or more. You want to do 48 or you want to do 40 days. But the bottom line is that the first and foremost has to be 24 hours. So you afflict yourself before our God to seek of him a right way for us. See that? That's the right to seek in righteousness. That's the only way to seek righteousness. Because any other way, where you're going to end up in wickedness. Only way, the righteousness by keeping God's law, statutes, and commandments. Then you can prayer and hold fast in supplication to him by afflicting your soul, not eating or drinking. Then what? Then the Most High hears your prayers. Then, like you said, right, to seek of him a right way for us. That's the only way you're going to get your right way. Right? And for our little ones, our children also. Some of these children, these little ones, man, they got to fast too. I remember I had a brother, he had one of his sons fasting, and the little man was going through it. Little man was going through it. I'm like, all right, little man, we're going to be all right, man. So he got 2-3 more hours, man. 3 more hours, little man. And he got through it, though.
That's
You
what's
see what I'm
up,
saying?
man.
He got through it. So, you know, that's part of it. It was his first fast. Man, he was about 9 years old. He did good.
Yeah, that's good, man.
Well, a little man like you about to die from about 5, 6 o'clock, man. You know what I'm saying? But I know right now, I'm sure that was about a year or so ago. That was his first fast. So what? Each one gets easier.
He gets better.
Each one gets easier, man. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, you gotta, like right here it says, and for our little ones, and for all our subjects. So that's man, woman, and child. Not just the man of the house, the woman. We have to fast and afflict her soul, and the same is with the kids. And the first, and the very important thing is to mentally and spiritually. You mentally have to be prepared for the fast. It's not just physically, but the mentally part. You know what day, okay, you plan on fasting. So what? You prepare in your mind. You know, okay, a week from now. Okay, 5 days from now. 3 days from now. Tomorrow night, right? So what you do, like we were talking about last night, bro, and Hezekiah, which is the same thing. What you do, you drinking your water. You eating your fruits. You're already praying and preparing yourself. You can't just cut on or just switch. You can't just live how you want to live. Not drinking sodas and juices and all this heavy foods and starch and meats, and then you just go boom fast. You gonna it's gonna be rough. It's gonna be a rough one. So maybe some people might have to go through it like that to get the okay. You might have to go through that route first. About halfway through that 12 hour even came around full. You going crazy. You see what I'm saying? Because you ain't prepared. So if you look right, you ain't had no water in 3 days. You done had sodas and juice and burgers. And wonder why it ain't even lunchtime and you about to die. But it's all right. You're going to live and learn, right? That's what everything is, live and learn, man. You're going to learn. Right there, all praise the Lord. Can I go ahead and read verse, go ahead and jump up to 20, you can go ahead and read 22 and 23.
All right. For I was ashamed to require of the king and band of soldiers and horsemen to help us against the enemy in the way, because we had spoken unto the king, saying, the hand of our God is upon all them for good that seek him.
Right.
But his power and his wrath is against all them that forsake him.
See, that's heavy right there, man. It said, and the hand of our God is upon all of them for good that seek him. See that? So long as you seeking the Most High, you obeying his laws, statutes, and commandments, then when you pray and fast to him, then he'll hear and answer your prayer, right? But his power and his wrath is against all of them that forsake him. You ain't keeping God's laws, statutes, and commandments, like doing it as he commanded you. Your fasting and prayers in the wind. You wasting your time. Because, like I said, but his power and his wrath is against all of them that forsake him. See how that spirit, the power of the Most High is heavy, man. Because it's like, if you're obeying him and you're doing it as he commanded of you, he's all with you, right? But if you're not doing what he commanded you, and you living in wickedness and think you just do what you want to do and live how you want to live, that power is against you, man. You know what I'm saying? And it's just that serious. It's just that cut. There's no straddling the fence, or there's no gray areas, or no, like Christ said, you lukewarm, you don't get spewed out. So ain't none of that. You got to be all the way in, or just be worldly and wicked. You know, that's it. Right? Go ahead, verse 23.
Verse 23. So we fasted.
So we did what?
So we fasted.
We did what?
So we fasted.
We fasted, man, because we know the Most High can, by us fasting and afflicting our soul, no food or drink, he gonna hear us. Read on.
And besought our God for this. And he was entreated of us.
And he was what?
Entreated.
Man, that's why we fasted. Like, again, a shout out to them brothers. This is a great idea for our brothers and sisters to start really taking this thing serious.
Right.
You know, to really start taking this thing serious. And we really, and we are doing that. Because I notice a lot of brothers and sisters will chime in on the brothers' video on YouTube and on Facebook and their other social media outlets is agreeing to do this. So all praises to the Most High, man, for real. All praises to the Most High. All right, let's go to, I think you got another one here. Let's go to Tobit. Tobit chapter 12. Tobit's right after 2nd Esdras. Tobit chapter 12 and verse 8. Tobit chapter 12, verse 8. Yeah. We ain't got the part.
Tobit chapter 12, verse 8.
Uh-huh.
Prayer is good with fasting.
Uh-huh.
And alms and righteousness.
Right.
A little with righteousness is better than much with unrighteousness.
Mm-hmm.
It is better to give alms than to lay up gold.
Right. Read that from the top again.
Prayer is good with fasting.
See, that's the point right there. Prayer is good with fasting. Like, it goes hand in hand. Like faith without works is dead. So what good is your faith if you ain't keeping no laws?
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So prayer is good with fasting. Yeah, you can pray to the Most High, He'll hear you. But you flip that soul, you know what I'm saying? From time to time, you can't fast every day. You know, like Christ 48, 49. Praise for that. That's a great example.
Yeah.
But that's one. I mean, hey, I hate to doubt myself, but I don't see myself being able to fast 40 days and 40 nights. Man. I'm not going to even try. You know, but maybe 2 days. Now I might be able to squeeze a 48, but that 24, I'm gonna stay right there. I'm gonna stay right in my lane. But prayer is good with fasting. You see that? So that's important. That's why the Day of Atonement was necessary for the whole nation of Israel. But why not? You know, maybe every once a month, or maybe even, let's say 6 times a year, every other month, beside the Day of Atonement. You see that? And why? Because prayer is fasting. So could anything be negative about fasting? Could anything negative come out of fasting, bro? You say?
Negative, ain't nothing negative.
Nothing. Would you say, you know what I'm saying? Prayer is good with fasting.
Right.
So say all praises to the Most High for that. I just want to touch on that scripture right there. Let's go to 2 Corinthians chapter 11. 2 Corinthians 11. In verse 27.
This is the book of 2 Corinthians, chapter 11, verse 27.
Mm-hmm.
In weariness and painfulness, in watching often, in hunger and thirst, in fasting often, in cold and nakedness.
All right. In weariness and painfulness, in watchings often, in hunger and thirst, in fastings often, in cold and nakedness. So fastings often, like we just read in Tobit, is necessary. It's good for your soul. It's good for your spirit. You know what I'm saying? It's good for your spiritual being. It's good for your it's good. We also know it's good for health reasons, but that's not the reason why, specifically on why we're going through a fast as a nation. It's good for the spirit. It's good for the soul. It's good for your relationship with the Most High. You know, hearing your prayers. Keep you on the right track, you know, in your soul, you know. So, I don't got anything else on this, man. I mean, you know, this is very necessary. So I think we do a class on prayer and fasting. Giving a shout out to the brothers and other camp that's in the nation of in the Israelite community that's taking a part in this, and it's so all praise to the Most High. It was a great idea, you know. So we're fasting and prayer here at One West Tampa. We encourage other brothers and sisters to do the same. You know, afflict your soul, no food, no water. You know, pray to the Most High, whatever issues you're dealing with within your family, your personal problems. You know, some people trying to get off cigarettes. Some people trying to, you know, get out of the strip club. There's some people trying to get off and they dealing with drunkenness. You know, it's different things. You know, some people can't get off that swine. A lot of our women can't get out in jeans. So, you know, whatever you're dealing with, Israel, fasting and praying is very essential. Right. But remember also, John 9:31. Because we got to keep in mind, fasting and praying is no good just because you're an Israelite. You have to be obeying his laws, statutes, and commandments. Go ahead, John 9:31.
This is the book of St. John, chapter 9, verse 31. Now we know that God heareth not sinners.
Heareth not?
Heareth not sinners.
We know that God don't hear sinners. Go ahead, grab that 1 John for me, Malak. Read that again, bro.
Now we know that God heareth not sinners.
So if you fasting and praying and afflicting your soul, the Most High don't hear sinners. So you're afflicting your soul, fasting and praying and starving yourself for nothing if you ain't keeping God's laws, statutes, and commandments. You can't eat a bacon sandwich, shave your head, and then tell my you finna fast and pray. Just give an example. It ain't gonna work like that. God heareth not who?
Sinners.
Now what's the definition of sin?
1 John chapter 1 verse 3 verse 4.
Right.
Whosoever committeth sin transgresseth also the law.
Right.
For sin is the transgression of the law.
So sin is the definition of breaking God's laws. Right? So read that again.
The book of St. John, chapter 9, verse 31. Now we know that God heareth not sinners.
You don't hear sinners. So if you ain't keeping God's laws, statutes, and commandments, and you think you just gonna fast and get on this fast and prayer, God heareth not sinners. Read on.
But if any man be a worshiper of God and doeth his will.
And do what?
And doeth his will.
And doeth his will. Give me Psalms 40 and 8, Malak. Read on.
Him he heareth.
Him he heareth. That's the end of that.
Yes,
that's the end of that. See, so God don't hear sinners. So again, it don't matter if you're praying and you fast and afflicting your soul. Breaking God's laws that hear you. Definition of sin, breaking God's laws. Right? And whoever doeth his will is whom he heareth. So what's the will of God? Precept. Psalm 40 verse 8.
Psalm 40 and 8. I delight to do the will, O my God.
Right.
Yeah, thy law is within my heart.
That what?
Yeah, thy law is within my heart.
So God's laws, keeping his laws, that's his commandments, is doing his will. Right? Just like John 14:50 said, if you love me, keep my commandments. That's how you're doing God's will. So when Christ says him that does the will of my Father, that's what Christ is talking about. His laws, that's his commandments. So all praise to the Most High. Like I said, we just want to touch on this class on fasting, prayer for the nation. It's a great idea for us out there in Maryland, Baltimore, and hopefully we can do a few more, like this, maybe every 2 months or every month or so.
Yeah, man.
We need it. We definitely need it. Our people, we're really going through a lot. Not only awaken Israel as a nation, we're ignorantly not knowing you Israelites or not. We got brothers getting shot down the street every day. Trying to get people's attention. That's to push this truth, to push the word. And hey, some people are going to hear, some people are going to forbear. That's Ezekiel 10:11. That's right. All right, so all praise to the Most High here at 1 West Tampa. Classes Monday through Friday, 7:30 until p.m. until Saturdays, 10 a.m. until, and man, come on, visit us. There's our address. Bring your Bibles, your history books, pen and pad, and questions. And come build and come learn and come and share what you have. Anybody that's in Hillsborough, Tampa County, and the surrounding counties. You got Polk County, you got Pinellas, that's St. Pete, you got Sarasota, Bradenton. Come on and build with us. Brothers drive an hour or 30 minutes. To go to a football game or to go to a parade or go to a casino. Well, let's get some knowledge. We tell brothers in the street all the time. Now we're in a time, Jacob Trouble the Israelites, we're in a time where we need to be trying to get our knowledge up. It ain't about getting our money up anymore. What I'm saying? Not saying don't work, be a bum. Right. But it's about getting our knowledge up. It's not about trying to get $1 million in the bank. It's about getting this knowledge up, man, because you don't know who you are, you got where you come from, and then where you going, man. And the Bible is the medicine for you so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans.
Right.
All right. You got anything, man?
Right, man.
Good.
And because like you said, man, this been the time we're in the time of the breaking of the start of Jacob's trouble or something like that, man, because it's a lot going on with our people, like how the dude got shot over there, and
Pinellas, Clearwater, right?
Clearwater, and another one that you said you heard the other day about the two sisters
out in Oakland,
right? In Oakland
station.
Yeah, man, and who knows whatever, you know what I'm saying? Stuff they don't even air on the news.
They ain't getting recorded.
So, you know what I'm saying? So our people, it's time that we need to and come back to our nationality, our heritage, man,
Right.
as a people, so-called Blacks, Hispanics, Native American Indians, man, and prayer and fast, you know what I'm saying, like we're doing today. You know, we need this, man. This is the only way we're gonna be heard on high from the Most High, man. It's just, you know what I'm saying, not going to that damn Christian church and thinking you're gonna sing and then pray with the pastor. You know what I'm saying? He done just had like the brother say, he probably had a damn pork chop sandwich the night before, and you think the Most High is hearing the whole church's prayer when y'all grab hands at the damn church, and you know, no, man.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? This thing got to be done in sincerity and in truth, man. Right, man.
Exactly, bro. So it gotta happen in sincerity and truth, man. So like you said, you can't be screaming Black Lives Matter, protest, we want justice, and then you celebrate Christmas.
Right.
You see, it don't work like that. But hey, Hosea 5:15,
Right.
in their affliction, they will seek me early.
Right.
So, hey, all praise to the Most High, another beautiful class. Shalom, grace, and peace.
Shalom.
Over His temple, we out. Shalom, grace, and peace.
What you say they can't be doing away?
Closing out day 12, going to day 13. What you say, bro?
Our people messed up.
Oh, man, you know, it's tough, but hey, all praise to the Most High, man.